What's up,
Wow.
man? What do you got for me tonight?
Now that was just a question because so my buddy he's always like, yo, let's go out, and I'm always like, I'm kind of just want to. I feel guilty sometimes when I go out and kind of socialize or trying to meet women because I'm like, well, I'm not really where I want to be right now. But then I also kind of now that I turned 30, I'm like, well,
When
I
he
still
says go out, like what's he talking about? Going to a
so
nightclub,
like
going to a
we go to like
bar?
bars, breweries, and stuff like that to meet girls and stuff. Which I mean, honestly, like going out with him, I've met more women that I definitely have in the past.
What does your friend do? Like, what is he a business owner? Is he an employee? Like, what does he do for a living?
No, he got like a warehouse job.
Okay, and he's really just going out to chase tail.
Pretty much, we both broke up with our girls about the same time, so
Hmm.
he's kind of trying to get the ball rolling with that too. But
Okay,
I'm more of like, well, shit.
is
He's
that your
20.
dog making that noise?
Yeah, that's my bad. A little diesel right here.
All right, so okay, so you're going out and you're asking, should I go out with this dude to these clubs and these
Right.
events?
Yeah. Because like I said,
Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? With 10 being the best version and 1 being the worst version?
I'd say let's say like a 5, 6.
Okay. So have you read my book?
Yeah, I read it a few times already. I've read a few
Yeah.
books that you've mentioned on your channel, so I
Yeah. So I
kind of
talk about that in the book, right? I mean, like, yeah, you can go out and talk to the ladies. You know, you can chase some tail if you want, but you're going to be doing a lot of work. Like the ROI is going to be low.
right.
Your energy, your time, your investment is far better spent on yourself, leveling yourself up. You know, to get yourself to a point where you're a 7 or 8 out of 10, because then you're going to have a better experience than where you are right now.
Okay.
You're just going to spend time and money at what? You know, chasing women that don't have genuine desire for you.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, I read your book as I was broke up with my pre-relationship, and like you said, all those red flags. I moved in with this chick too, and that's kind of where it kind of derailed me because I was on a pretty good course before that. I was already kind of starting my own business, kind of teaching myself instead of going back to school. So everything was good, but then like 2020 happened too, where I had to kind of go back into my family's business and kind of start doing kind of, I guess, how do I say, go back to the drawing board.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Spend the time on yourself is basically what I'm saying. You know,
Okay.
you're 30, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. So spend the time on yourself. You know, double down on what this new version of you looks like. Take a look at your last relationship, everything that went sideways from it, what you learned from that. I mean, I'm not saying don't talk to women. I'm not saying don't, have some fun. Do it. But just understand that your time is far better spent on yourself. Like you got to where you're at right now. You can only take yourself as far as the experiences and the lessons that you've learned, right? So what you know today is far more than what you've known before. Like one of the things that I always tell guys is, the first step is you got to unplug from your own bullshit first, like the lies that you tell yourself. And then the next step is you have to unplug from the lies everybody else tells you, from all that
Right.
bullshit. Now
Yeah.
that now that you've started to go through that process, that's great. Now, what kind of results are you going to start to pull into your life so that you can have better experiences everywhere? I'm not just talking about women, talking about everywhere,
Okay.
right? Like that's what the
Um,
unplugged do.
if I could kind of ask one last question that kind of goes with this one too is how do you work on not really getting your frame back, but like starting to build a new frame that you kind of want moving forward instead of being known for who you were before, but then kind of move on to where what you want to be.
I'm not sure I understand the question about frame. Maybe you can rephrase it for me.
So so when like friends approach me or talk to me, they still kind of have that mentality of who I was back then. So I'm sometimes they don't
Yeah,
take
I'm
me
not that guy
serious.
anymore.
Right.
I'm not that guy. Like one of the things that will end up happening as you become better, like if your friends continue doing this and you're doing this, okay, like you're improving your lives, friends and even family, they're going to say, I don't like this new version of you, Corona. I like the old guy better.
Right.
Okay. Well, the reason why I got up here and my life improved is because I stopped doing a lot of dumb shit and I started adopting new and better behaviors. So I don't really care whether or not you like me or not. Like it's going to happen. I'll tell you guys right now, you and anybody else watching this, as you improve yourself, as your life gets better, it's like crabs in a bucket, right? They always try to pull you back down. They don't want you to get better. I like the old guy better.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
that.
kind of what I'm balancing with is like guilt, because I come from a very cultural family. So when you kind of deviate from that and you kind of start doing things a little different, they kind of question little things like
So
that.
let's talk about guilt, because guilt is a negative emotion that's towards yourself.
Right.
Resentment's towards somebody else. These are the two most negative emotions you can have as a human being. You can go back and look at Brian Trace's very, very early shit from like 30, 40 years ago. We talked about this sort of stuff a lot. All you have to do is let it go.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, why do you feel guilty over chasing excellence? Right? That's
Right.
dumb.
Yeah.
Like, should I feel guilty for having a McLaren in my garage? That's dumb. I've
Right.
had people tell me like, "Oh, why don't you sell the car and like feed some hungry people?" Well, I happen to feed engineers and experts that designed and built this thing so that the world can be entertained by Formula 1 racing. Okay? How about that? Right?
Right.
There's probably, some guys on that team that might have designed a rocket at the SpaceX team that are sending satellites up so that we can have internet around the world, Starlink sort of thing. So uh, I don't I don't fall for the guilt. I don't fall for any of that stuff. And the sooner that you can let go of that shit and walk away from it and not let it hold you back, because it's an anchor. I've talked about anchors and sales. You've watched me for a while, obviously. Sales
Yeah.
fill up, they pull you to the next passage. Anchors hold you back. You got to cut shit back like guilt. You shouldn't be feeling guilt over chasing excellence. You shouldn't be feeling
Right.
guilt over about becoming better while everybody else doesn't want to do anything any different, right?
Yeah. That's like one of those things too. 'Cause I wanted to do my own thing, wanted to move out, and they're like, "Well, I mean, being here with family, it's family. You don't gotta pay, but it's like, well, at the same time, it's like, shit. I'm almost 30. I gotta start kind of
Yeah, you
venturing
got
on
to get your
my
shit
own.
together, man.
Right.
You want to be spoiled for choice of women, have a better life? Yeah, you can't be living at your parents' house at 30.
Exactly.
All right,
Okay.
level up.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. See ya. Let's go back to the private chat here. Jenna is wearing a face mask and she has to wash it off. Doesn't want to be public. All right, Jenna. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes.